I'm sure that JT will want to respond, but I do want to kind of move us in this final section into something which I found quite interesting in the booklet here, Be Strong, which is right at the start, your first paragraph. You say that, forget, all the historical documents, the evidence, etc. that you just think the whole concept that's being described in the Gospels is crazy from the outset. I'm just going to read your opening paragraph. You say, "Do you honestly think the creator of the heavens, of the earth, the supreme being, the intelligent designer of all things, would come to earth through a woman's vagina as a newborn baby, and then repeatedly poop on himself, urinate on himself, have stinky diapers, need diaper changes, have to suck on a woman's breast for dear life, have to be protected by humans, have to be potty trained, in addition to all that, have to learn how to talk, walk, read and write, while having stinky morning breath, and so forth throughout his earthly life?" You seem to have a fundamental problem with the concept of God becoming incarnate, becoming a human being. Now, for me, that is, if you like, the central thing about Christianity. That is what is the unique thing about Christianity. And for you, the whole concept, it seems to me, is one that you find incredibly difficult to grasp, that an omniscient, almighty God would do that to himself. We are almost out of time, so I understand your point there, and I'll just ask JT to respond to it, and we will have to wrap up.
Well, Justin was right, that the central part of the Christian story is that God, rather than stand back and watch us mess up ourselves and just go to hell in a handbasket, he rolled up his sleeves, plunged his arm into the mess that this world is, in the person of Jesus, in the person of an 18-inch long baby, to commit himself to us. And far from mocking that and thinking that's really stupid, it was the demonstration that God absolutely is committed to us as human beings. And that baby went on to die, and arguably, as far as Be Strong might be concerned, to rise from the dead, to show us that God is committed. He can beat the greatest enemy that we have, which is death. And he offers us a connection with himself through this remarkable man who was not only Son of Man, but Son of God. I think that's brilliant.
We are going to have to draw things to a close. Perhaps you'd like to just finish up with that.
The only thing I would add to that is that I was actually reading from Isaiah chapter 53, and hey, listen to this fact. It was written 750 years before he was born, and if you want to know how we know it was written before he was born, you can go to Jerusalem. You can see the scroll in the Scroll Museum, which was written before Jesus was born. That, to me, is proof that God's got a plan and Jesus is the centre of it.
We unfortunately are out of time, gentlemen. It's been fascinating to have you. I know, Be Strong, you've got probably lots and lots you'd like to say, and we could fill a whole another programme with it. I'm just going to ask you to just... well, why don't we organise a round 2 at some point, and perhaps that would be the way. What do you think to that?
I'm done.
well, thank you for joining us on the programme. It's been fascinating, and I'm sure we will talk again. So you haven't seen the last of Be Strong.
Send me an email, Be Strong. Send me an email, we'll have a chat.
I love you, JT, man. You're a great guy.
Great talking.
You're just as cool as Nick. People having a good time debating. This is not anger. This is love. We're passionate about it. This is a hope. This is real. So
we're passionate.
Us getting together, being passionate. No disrespect to JT or anyone else or Christians. Just our beliefs putting on the table. Very passionate.
And I just want to apologise for some of the stuff Christians told you when you were younger. My prayer is that you relook at stuff and we end up serving the same Jesus.
Okay, we're going to have to draw things to a close. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for listening to today's programme, and I'm going to be back in just a moment's time with some of your responses
and there you
to
have
previous week's programme.
Justin Brierley admitting, along with my opponent on the show, John Tancock, both admitting that there was nothing wrong with their God, the Christian God, coming on earth and pooping his pants, urinating on himself, farting, stinky morning breath, boogers in his nose, having to be potty trained, having some serious BO, hiccups, coughing, snot pouring out his nose at times. Ultimately ended up being around 5'1", 110 pounds. This is what Christianity, you Christians believe, that God, Jesus was God incarnate. So your God, Jesus, your God, pooped his pants, urinated on himself, had to be potty trained. Your God farts. Your God has morning breath. Your God has boogers in his nose. Some serious BO. This is your God. And he was born of a woman through a woman's vagina. Lived a human life. This is your God. I'm not being funny. I'm being serious. It sounds funny, but I'm being serious. This is your God, Christians. Your God pooped his pants. Your God, if you believe the Bible, not only pooped his pants, urinated on himself. Farted. Had a stinky morning breath. Boogers in his nose. Had some serious BO. Had the hiccups. Colds. Your God ultimately being around 5'1", 110 pounds. This is your God. That sounds strange to me that you're going to say, yeah, the creators of the celestials, the creator of the Milky Ways and the trillions and trillions of galaxies, yeah, when you look at Hubble telescope and you see billions and billions, if not trillions and trillions of stars and galaxies, you're saying, yeah, my God, the one that came to earth and pooped his pants, urinated on himself, farted, stinky morning breath, ended up being around 110 pounds, weighing about, being around 110 pounds, being about 5'1". You're saying that this is your God, yeah, who created all the things you see in the space Hubble telescope photos. Your God created this. The God that pooped his pants on earth, farted, stinky morning breath, 5'1", 110 pounds. You're saying your God who urinated himself, he created the celestials, all what we see in the Hubble telescope photos. You're saying that your God created that, and at the same time he came to earth, pooped his pants, farted, stinky morning breath. He only ended up being around 5'1", 110 pounds, a little guy. Well, Christians, that sounds strange to me. Literally unbelievable. But hey, to each his own. I understand, like I always say, Christians, you need a superhero character to believe in because life is tough. Life is rough. So I'll tell you, there's nothing wrong with believing in a superhero character, whether it be the flying Jesus in the Gospels or Spider-Man or Batman or Incredible Hulk or whomever. Go ahead and believe. Just don't be dogmatic, because when you listen to the reality, when you take the roof off of your beliefs and just stretch your beliefs to the fullness, about you're saying, yeah, the guy, the being who created the Milky Ways, the space Hubble telescope Photoshop, the being that created all those billions and trillions of stars and galaxies was this 5'1" guy, but came to earth through a woman's vagina as a baby and he pooped on himself. Your God pooped on himself. Your God urinated on himself. He farted on himself. He stinky morning breath. All this. You're saying that this man that came to earth and with feces and to change his diapers, he created what you see in the space Hubble telescope photoshots. Like I said, this sounds utterly ridiculous to me, but hey, you need something to believe in. Superheroes, you Christians, I know life is tough once again, so you need a superhero to believe in. So go ahead, believe in your Jesus. Just don't be dogmatic, because your beliefs don't make sense when you pan them out in reality, just as I have done. And I have not stretched out, added anything. This is just the reality of your belief, Christian, so don't get mad at me. This is the reality of your beliefs. I have not stretched anything out. I have not made anything comical. This is just your beliefs being brought out to reality to its fullest extent, and when you do it, it just looks ridiculous. It does. But this is your beliefs. Anyway, Brett Strong, signing off.